Everybody, how y'all doing today? Hope you had a good one. Gonna be another interesting one. We're gonna talk some more about the Epstein files. Man, everybody's divided on this. Everybody's divided, and so many people are showing their true skins here. And we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it. Boris just sent me something. We're gonna show you. In fact, let me. Why do I have so many missed text messages? Oh yeah, I saw that, Sneaky Pete, and sorry, I get behind on my text messages. Anybody else get behind on their text messages like me? Let's see what I can do here. Let me see if I can put what Boris just sent me up on the screen. So that's a good thing about having an iMac. You can put your text messages on here. All right, this is what Boris just sent me. Epstein list hangs itself moments before release. Whoever did this, oh my goodness. Whoever made that, that's great. I gotta add this. Let me see if I can I guess I gotta download it. No, it's gotta open. Oh wait, download it. Here we go. I gotta find out where it downloaded. Did it go to my pictures? Is that where it goes to? But that's hilarious. Tell me that's not hilarious. Oh my goodness. Darn it. Not there. Let me check downloads real quick. Download. Oh, it is. No, that's June 2nd. That's July 2nd. Today's not the 2nd. Maybe it went to my pictures. What are we doing here? Such a pain in the butt. I'll have to share it later on, I guess. Into my pictures. Oh, it did go to pictures. Okay. Go here. Here and there. And we gotta share this. Hilarious. Just hilarious. Thank you, Boris, for that one. That was hilarious. Anyways, oh my goodness. Man, everybody's fighting right now. Dang, Panda's way back there. Leaning against the flag. No wonder my flag keeps getting panda hair all over. But yeah, everybody's fighting today. Yesterday, it's been going on for a while. I want to talk about this a little bit. You have all these people that have joined X in the last year and a half or so since Elon Musk bought it, and they've just been posting and agreeing 100% with everything President Trump says, because they know that's what people want to hear right now. A lot of people went to X when Elon took it over, so that way we could have our freedom of speech back. And so you have all these people that were just big time Trump followers. I am. I love President Trump and what he's been doing for the most part. And now you have these people with million people with a million followers, stuff like that, and they're like, well, I make like a couple $1,000s a month just posting stupid stuff on X about President Trump, and they don't just post it once a day; they post it 2, 3, 4 times a day. They reshare it so more people will see it, because sometimes people don't see it because they're not on at that time, so they're going to repost it in an hour, and then another half an hour, and then after that, and all these people do is make money off of us, because when we see things, it makes us happy. President Trump and the Border Patrol, arrested 4,000 people today. Good. That's what I voted for. It is what I voted for. Get the illegals out of here. And I fell victim to it too. I was victim to it. I would share these stuff. Like, people like, there's a guy named Gunther Eagleman. I bring him up every time because I call the dude out every time. He's upset me so much just being a follower that I had to finally just cut him off and take him off of I unfollowed him, and I still see his posts all the time. So because so many people share him. But that's the problem, you guys share something because you're happy about it. And so all these main big time people that are on X now, like you have Cat Turd, the Hodge twins, uh Eagleman, Juanita Broderick. You just have all these people with tons of subscribers who who love President Trump, and so all they did was show the positive stuff about President Trump. They would never show bad stuff, right? Because nobody's perfect in this world. There's got to be good stuff and there's going to be bad stuff. There's a lot of stuff you guys hate me, and you're probably mad at me for what I'm saying here right now. But I am trying to speak the truth. That's what I do. My best that I can do for you guys is speak the truth. And well, I'm gonna speak it. So, but the issue is what's going on is all these people to speak the truth. All these people out there just share this stuff to get their likes, and they put all their money on President Trump. They didn't put their money on having their own thoughts and views. They put their money on following President Trump, sharing his posts, saying, I agree 100%. And that's all they put. Or I voted for this 100%. And now all of a sudden, they're not, there are people who are now actually finally making their own choices and, thinking on their own, who will say, hey, wait a minute. I don't like this Epstein client list. Or, oh, wait, whoa. What's going on here with this one big, beautiful bill? Why all of a sudden are we going to add trillions of dollars to the deficit each year? And those people that they make their money off of just President Trump, yes, President Trump this, President Trump that. I love and they just 100% agree with everything President Trump says. Now they're at a stage where, holy shit, I'm not getting enough views anymore because, President Trump has done a few things lately that not everybody likes. Am I still glad President Trump is our president? I sure am. But there's some things that I don't like and I don't agree with right now. And it's fine. That's fine. But you got these people that, like I said, made their money and are making their money off of agreeing with President Trump. Because people nowadays, we all know this, most people nowadays don't do their own research. They look on X, they look on Facebook, wherever they go to look, they read stuff, and they just automatically share it. Because, oh, I like this headline. Oh my goodness, look at that. Chase Elliott is no longer going to drive in NASCAR until they take pride off of the cars. That wasn't true, but people shared it because that's what they're thinking in their heads. I don't like pride. Look, I like Chase, and I saw so many people say, I like Chase Elliott now. He just gained a new fan. But the problem is, it's not true, folks. People will share it just because they want to share it, because it makes them feel better about themselves. So you have all these influencers now that are all pro-Trump everything, and they're starting to find out that, oh my gosh, my numbers are going down. People don't like this Epstein list idea not coming out. Oh my gosh, they don't like the fact that President Trump wants to spend so much more money in the debt and raise our debt ceiling. And people were like, I don't like this idea about we've voted to get out of the Ukraine war, and now we're sending more weapons to them. So what these influencers are now doing, because that's how all they get their money is, they're sticking with it. They're like, you know what? I jumped on the Trump train. I'm going to stay on it. And I'm not saying I jumped off the Trump train. I'm just saying I personally can admit when I don't like something that's going on. These people can't, because that's how they make their money. So instead what they're doing is, oh my God, the Hodge twins, you're not a Trump supporter anymore because you're going against him and saying you don't believe that there's no Epstein files. I was just looking at all day long. The Cat Turd is just nonstop going after the Hodge twins, right? And then now, like Sean Ryan, even Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan is a guy who sits down and he uses his brain to do research and find out what's going on. If you've never seen the Sean Ryan show, it's a great show to watch. And he's now saying, talking about the Epstein, list and how he doesn't believe that there's no Epstein list. So then all these people are going after them and saying, "Oh yeah, look at this person who and going after him." Another thing Cat Turd's been talking about all day long, and we'll probably see it when we start going through X, is, "Oh my gosh, the only people talking shit to me about President Trump are these bots." Well, let's be real here, folks. The bots have been here forever. The bots, the bots are part of life on the internet. I don't think we're ever going to be able to get rid of bots. And you liked the bots when they were liking your photos and when they're liking the stuff that you were posting. Now all of a sudden you don't. Now all of a sudden you're going after these bots. And let's be real here. I could be wrong about this, but in my feelings and my thoughts, the bots follow the trends. The bots go with the trends, not against the trends. And if the bots are now going after these people that are so pro President Trump that they can never say he's ever wrong, I mean, nobody's perfectly 100% right all the time. Maybe one person, and that's the big God up there, right? God created us, and who knows? Maybe God's not a perfect person either. Maybe he is trying to get us to be not to be more perfect than what we are, because he has made mistakes himself and he's trying to help us avoid our mistakes. Kind of like what parents do. So it's just insane. Folks, if you don't like a certain thing President Trump says, it's okay. It doesn't mean you're no longer a Trump supporter. It just means you disagree on something. It's life. It's the world. Now you have people like Jake Tapper saying, where's the Trump, or where's the Epstein files? Where's the Epstein files? And here's where this comes in. Democrats will go against everything President Trump does to try and make him look bad. And so you have Jake Tapper now going and calling out for the Epstein files. And you know what I think this is what's going on here is this. Like I said, they do anything to make Trump look bad. And you see people are now starting to say, "Oh my gosh, I know there's an Epstein client list out there. Where the heck is it? Where the heck is it?" And nobody's calling them. And so the Democrats are now coming through and saying, "Oh, wait a minute, this is our chance. Look, President Trump is lying to you. Come back to our side. Come back to our side." That's what I think is going on right now. Everything that goes on in the news and X, everything in this thing is about money, about power, about who has dirt on who. And a lot of you people out there that are upset with this Epstein list, the first thing you do is jump to is, "Well, I'm sure President Trump is on there then." Because, I mean, we've seen the photos of him with Epstein. We've seen, everything, "Oh, look, here's President Trump talking to Jeffrey Epstein." Just because you talk to somebody doesn't mean that you're doing the bad deeds that they are. Okay, maybe there was a deal that President Trump found out that he could do with Epstein to make some money. And it could be something totally different. It could be just on a building. Let's build this building and make millions and billions of dollars. That's like saying, "Well, your brother's a child molester, so you must be a child molester." Or, wow, your best friend just went and robbed a store and murdered somebody. You're a murderer because your best friend did that. It just doesn't work that way, folks. It just doesn't work that way. So we're gonna look into X right now. We're gonna talk about things that we see on X, and I'm gonna show you first the stuff that I just shared from today, looking at stuff, and then we'll go on to other stuff. So like I said, this is the joke that Boris just sent me. Epstein list hangs itself moments before release. This is hilarious. Whoever made this is a damn good meme. Okay, that's a good meme. So this Dana Loesch person says, "So with the Epstein files, one of two things is true. We were lied to from the beginning to be manipulated by people running for office, or we are being lied to now to protect people in office. Either way, we're being lied to. But which? I mean, she's hitting the right on the nail, right? She's hitting the head of the nail. They said there was an Epstein list and they were going to expose it. Now they say, well, there's no Epstein list, so we can't expose it. Well, you can't say there was an Epstein list and now say there's no list. How is Ghislaine Maxwell in jail for trafficking kids, but there's no list? She has a little black book that has all these pages in there, but there's no list. Somewhere around here, there's a deal that's been made. I don't know what the deal is that's been made. Maybe it's something for the best, right? It could be just, oh, this is for the best. Maybe, maybe we're getting rid of Jeffrey Epstein in the client list, but maybe we're gaining a whole entire predator ring, which the Epstein were. I don't know. I'm hoping that that's what's going on here. I'm hoping that maybe this is just a smokescreen. That they're saying, oh, there's no Epstein client list right now. But what we're gonna do is this. In about 6 months, when it all comes down and everybody's like, okay, man, we're in the clear, then maybe they'll bring out the Epstein list. But I don't know if that's a good plan, because then all the Democrats are, oh, you said you guys are liars, and then people are going to feel wamboozled, which, if you don't feel wamboozled right now, there's some wamboozle going on here. I shared this. I don't know what Elon Musk says because I was doing something else and I couldn't hear it. So let's see what he's saying.
So now, by coming in and being part of the cover-up, the Trump administration has...
Damn it. Went too big. That's what she said.
The Trump administration has become part of it. I mean, it's just, you cannot see it any other way. So I just got to the office. I'm going to go throw up, actually. And this only happens every few years when something really, really bad happens or something. I mean, I'm physically going to puke probably right now. My mouth is watering right now. It's because I have integrity. And, I just really need the Trump administration to succeed and to save this country. And they're doing so much good. And then for them to do something like this tears my guts out. And so now.
So Alex Jones is not a traitor, folks. People are going to say, well, he's a traitor to President Trump now. He's not a traitor to President Trump. He's just saying, I don't like what's going on. I don't believe it. I have my own thoughts, and we need President Trump to succeed. So he's still on the President Trump bus. He's just saying this one particular thing, I don't like what's going on here. And it's okay to say that. Stop the infighting, folks. If we keep infighting like this, look, Elon Musk wants to start a third party because of all this infighting and stuff. That's just going to separate all the conservatives into two different groups and voting two different ways. And then the liberals are just going to take over the vote because their 50% is all going to vote one way, and our 50% is going to split it up. So we're not going to win. Just think for yourself, folks. Think for yourself. And if you think something is fishy, then think it's fishy. Don't have to go along with everything I say or everything, Cat Turd says or Gunther Eagleman says or any of that stuff, okay? It's okay to do your own research and think for yourself. Like Alex Jones says, have your own integrity. He says, I have integrity. I have integrity myself. I don't like this Epstein client list stuff. I think there's something fishy. Sorry. So apparently right now ICE is being attacked in San Francisco. I've actually been there. I know exactly where this is. Stop that woman from screaming. Oh my goodness. Oh, maybe. Let's see. Maybe this isn't where I thought it was. I thought it was at the ICE facility. It's not. They're just making arrests, and people are going after him. This is just insane. Oh my gosh, are they really using that song? Move, bitch. Get out the way. Get out the way. Ludacris, right? Not Ludacris? Oh, that's definitely downtown. So this is I don't think that's the Visadero. But that's not the Visitor. What am I talking? I don't know if that's I don't think that's Geary, but it's right there. It's right there. In fact, you know what? We can get up. Let's go down here. So there was a chase downtown San Francisco. I spelled San Francisco wrong. I know it. Union Square. So it's B. It's gonna be this one right here. That's Union Square. That's this one. Nope. It's not that one because that's Market Street. That's not that one. This one is not that one. Okay. Okay, it's this one right here. This is the one where it is. Oh, it's on California Street. That's on California Street. Let's see if that's the right one. Otherwise, it's the one on Market Street. Go back up. I'm one of those people that I gotta know. I gotta know. See the chasing. Let me see. No, that's not Market Street though, because there's no cable car. Not the cable cars, but the electric bus in the air. That's a chase with the yellow. What am I doing? Gosh darn it! I want to know which chase this is. Is it the one on Market Street? I guess it is the one on Market Street. It is the one on Market Street. But where's the lines and stuff? Oh well. Anyways, who cares? So James O'Keefe Media comes up with this, and once again, folks, you can get mad at me all you want. Listen to what's going on here.
Do you know when the Epstein files are going to get released?
We hope soon. FBI's been.
Okay.
So.
Any dates?
No, you know what it is? There are tons and thousands of videos.
Yeah.
And it's all with little kids. So they have to go through every one.
So how is Pam Bondi saying that there was tens of this, and we watched this on this show here. What was it? Probably like 2 months ago that James O'Keefe came out with this. And now all of a sudden there's no Epstein list. So here's what I'm thinking. Maybe there's no list of clients anywhere, but they got videos. So they know the people that are on there. So they can claim, well, I'm not lying. There's no list. There's no Epstein client list anywhere. But we got videos of people at his island sleeping with little kids and doing stuff to little kids. That may be the way they're getting around this and say, well, I'm not lying. There's not an actual list. We just have videos. The videos aren't a list, right? And I didn't watch this, so I'm not going to play it. I really don't like Tim Pool. He's a band. I think Tim Pool's a bandwagon guy as well. So he's absolutely right. Cash, Dan, and Pam are being discredited over the Jeffrey Epstein evidence that was buried years ago. So here's my thought. If it was buried years ago, they still lied about it being in their hands. Like right here, Pam Bondi says, "Oh, I had it," and she said, "Oh, it's on my desk right now. It's on my desk right now." If it was buried years ago, then they lied about it being in their hands. And if there is a client list, then they're lying to us right now. But like we were just saying, maybe the possibility is there's not an actual list. They got videos and tons of stuff on them, but maybe there's not a list. So Matt Gaetz and Benny Johnson are big Trump supporters, and somebody's probably gonna say, "Yeah, well, Matt Gaetz is mad because he didn't get his attorney general." That could be possible. Could very well be possible, but let's see what they're saying here.
You got a 99%
on Epstein. Bill Barr is the one that needs to be called in to give sworn testimony on what happened there at Bureau of Prisons, because that is not that. There's just no way that the story you're getting is the real story there. No freaking way.
I can agree
Bill
with
Barr
that.
knows it.
I think most people believe that, right? Like it's got no way that that's.
I actually think it was
true.
I actually think that on Epstein, it was a foreign government that took him out. I don't think it was a domestic enterprise.
Really?
I do. I'm not going to say which one, but I don't think it was domestic inspired to take out of him. I think that was a foreign operation.
So he doesn't think it was the Clintons, huh?
So foreign operation took out Epstein inside of our prison.
Yes.
So they must have been allowed to.
Oh, I think it was
Permitted,
in
right?
concert with people in our government. Wow. But not at like some, low level guard getting bribed kind of way.
Yeah.
At a state to state level.
So
folks, when he says state to state, so what he's saying is it was the national government. Okay? I know we have the 50 states here in the United States, and that's what you think. But whenever they say the State Department, they're talking about the federal government.
Wow. So that's probably a lot of partied interests in keeping that under wraps.
You better believe it. Weapon systems at play, global deals at play.
Interesting. You have evidence to back that up?
I just am positing it as a theory.
Wow.
Okay, and so once again, you hear him. Positing it as a theory, and that's all we can take it as, folks. I don't want you running with it and saying this is totally true. Okay. One thing that I find weird. Either Benny Johnson or Matt Gaetz' microphone. I don't understand. I have the exact same microphone right here, and this is the professional cord you're supposed to use for it. And they're using that cord. It's funny. That's what I'm thinking about here. I'm a tech guy. That's why. The problem is. So here is Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is a huge Trump supporter and backer. Even she's saying, what about her little black book? The 97-page book contains the names and contact details of almost 2,000 people, including world leaders, celebrities, and businessmen. No one believes there's not a client list. I mean, if there's no client list, why did they both get arrested? Why is she sitting in jail right now? So once again, let's go back to that. It's all about is it nomenclature? Is that the right word to say? It's all about the nomenclature, I'm guessing. It's what they're saying. There is no client list. No, there's not a piece of paper that says, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, Oprah, Obama. No, but there's video evidence of it all. There's video evidence of it all. And there's, speaking of video evidence, photo evidence, that's another issue. Nowadays, AI is so good that we don't know when certain videos are real or not. We don't know when pictures are real or not. Epstein was a rich man. What if he was able to do that a long time ago and use those illegal photos to go after people and to blackmail them? That's another, there's multiple possibilities. And I'm not saying that that's what I believe. I'm just throwing that out there. Okay. Hours after 10 people were arrested for conspiring to ambush ICE agents to kill them, Democrat Senator Alex Padilla accuses ICE of terrorizing communities. He knows exactly what he's doing. He does know exactly. He's a Democrat. They know exactly what they're doing. Benny Johnson says it's fascinating that the same Department of Justice that could lock up every grandma who even looked at the U.S. Capitol on January 6th is completely helpless when asked to find a billionaire politician clients of the world's most famous pedo ring when they're all on video and flight logs. Even Colin Rugg is going in this direction. Let's see what this video is. This is a Sean Ryan video, though. I think it's a Sean Ryan. It looks like Sean Ryan's off it.
Blackmail plays an integral role, and I've been at this for 21 years, and Epstein had cameras in all of his homes. I mean, Epstein was definitely a blackmail artist.
Yeah, it's Sean Ryan.
And the government wants to make sure that does not come out. That a huge part of our political system is predicated on blackmail, and especially if that dark, malignant corner of the intelligence that is using blackmail against our politicians and other people, if they were using children, I mean, that would make the American people erupt. So that's why that Wikipedia page is locked down, and that's why this is important. This is for that dark corner of intelligence. This is Omaha Beach. They're not going to give an inch, because this is the last thing that they want out. And it's amazing how the Epstein scandal has been covered up. If you look at all the victims and all the perpetrators and all the procurers involved in the Epstein network, I mean, we're talking score, and the people that facilitated it, like the pilots and like Epstein's house managers and the cooks and everybody else. We're talking scores and scores of people, and
a lot of people.
No one's been indicted except for Ghislaine Maxwell, and that really shows that our government, unfortunately, wants to stop it there. Our government does not. I mean, although Americans do, I think, are coming around to the belief that Epstein was taking part in blackmail, or a lot of them. It doesn't make sense. Why is our government aiding and abetting child trafficking? And unless they're protecting some very powerful people and a political process, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only way that it makes sense.
He's saying that the only way it makes sense is if there's something political that we're protecting, some kind of a mission that's going on right now. They have to protect this mission because maybe there's somebody on that list that they're trying to go after right now for something else. We've all seen, I don't know if we've all seen, but I watch a lot of movies and TV shows. And, you'll have local cops come in and arrest somebody over some little tiny charge. And then the FBI comes in. Man, we've been working on this for 5 years trying to arrest this guy. And now you just ruined our whole entire case. What's up, Boris? So, I mean, that's another possibility. Maybe like I'm saying, there's the way they could be wording this is, well, there's no client list, but because there's probably not a list. Like I said, they don't just write Obama, Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, right? They've got the information on videos and pictures and stuff like that, but that's not a list. Those are videos and pictures. Maybe that's how they're getting away with telling that to the public. I don't know. This is a disgusting video. Nobody gets hurt in this video, but it's sad today. Parents nowadays, there's these parents that could care less about their kids. Maybe they just see him as a welfare check or, as a burden. And I think this man is one of those kind of people. And I just got to show this because I find this totally disgusting. And this person should not be a parent.
Ooh, you're hot.
What's going on, Boris, if I didn't say hi already? Cobb County.
Out to Dixon, I heard kids crying.
This is Georgia, right?
They're little children. It's a little boy and a little girl.
Approximately how old?
They look like they're maybe they're locked in the car. The little boy honey. It's okay. Hey, you're okay. You're okay. The
I'm
little
not
girl
saying
looks
how old.
maybe about a year, and the little boy looks maybe about 2.
You just rumbled yourself?
It's not running. Let's break it. Break it.
A 1-year-old and 2-year-old,
Yeah, I got it.
possible ages,
You want me to break or you got it?
inside a car like this.
Hey, kitties. Hey. Oh, 4 Central.
This is disgusting.
Hey, buddy. It's okay.
No car seats. They said it was, I think, 100 and some odd degrees inside this car. Poor kids. He's lethargic. It's so hot.
They are.
Or she, whatever that is.
It's okay. Yeah, we got somebody check them out.
To the women at the Dollar General shoplifting when she's being filmed, she pulls a gun,
It's okay.
has her
baby.
kids pushing the cart of stolen merch. Yeah, I've seen those videos too.
12:24 they entered.
And that was approximately about 12:24 when they entered the mall.
7-4.
Okay.
Thank you.
So 10:22 they entered the mall.
They have him on camera getting out. He left the car at 12:24.
Or
so they've been in there
12:24.
the
So,
whole time.
so they've been in there for 45 minutes.
Yeah. And we got here probably at 1:03. Takes.
Why would you leave your kids in the car like that? This is just so disgusting. It just makes my blood boil. If it doesn't make your blood boil, then I don't know what's going on with you. Oh, you know, I think I got to rumble myself real quick. I'm going to rumble myself real quick. Ourselves to hopefully fix something. Let's see if it fixed it. Nope, it didn't fix it. Oh well, I don't care. Let me see if the chat works. Rumble's been so-so today. That's my first time doing Rumble today, so I don't know. All right, this is something I said I agree 100% with. Tony says, just to be clear, I do not care who the administration is. Brushing the largest sex trafficking ring under the rug like nothing serious happened is not okay. I don't care who it is. I don't. It's insane that this is going on. We know that there's people, right? We know that there's stuff going on. I shared this, right? We watched that a second ago. And I put here, look, do I wish there was a third party would work? I sure do, but it would just divide the conservatives and maybe bring on some lefties who are more to the right. It is too dangerous, in my opinion, because we're going to separate the vote, and that's going to screw us. What the heck is going on? Something doesn't seem right. This is absurd. Is it Viva Frey or Viva Fry? Pam Bondi was talking about Epstein. Kash Patel was talking about Epstein. Dan Bongino was talking about Epstein. Elon Musk was talking about Epstein. Trump himself has been talking about Epstein. Everyone's talking about Epstein. Maybe it wasn't the best time to ask given other issues, but this is wild. Trump says more classified JFK Epstein files will be released soon. But why the hell are you asking about us during their cabinet meeting today? They're asking about it because people want to know. The people want to know. You can't just go from saying there's an Epstein list and then there's no Epstein list. It just doesn't make sense. Just doesn't make sense. Look at this one. Kevin Sorville. If there are no clients, why am I in jail? Bongino said himself before Trump was sworn in, he said, never let this go. Never let this go. Right, Boris? And he's letting this go. Now, I'm not becoming a Trump hater or Bongino hater. I'm not that kind of person. I'm just saying I don't like what's going on right now, and I disagree with what's going on. And this is making, everybody's infighting again right now. And we're going to show it to you in a little bit, all the infighting. So this woman says, I voted for this man 3 times. I campaigned for him. I worked my ass off, and I feel like I do not recognize him at all. There's some strange things going on with this administration right now. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Here's where he gets mad at the reporter, saying it's a waste of time. Why are you asking about the Epstein files? Well, why are you trying to cover it up? Let's watch this.
Sure. Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former labor secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did?
Is this what you're talking about right here,
there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of his death?
Yeah, sure.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this where we're having some of the greatest success. And
so here's where I have trouble, folks. Why all of a sudden was it a week or so ago everybody's talking about the Epstein list, and now actually, I think President Trump was one of the people we haven't heard talking about this lately, right? And now all of a sudden this switches. And no, I'm not saying President Trump is on the list. I'm not saying that at all. But what has changed over the last 2 days to where they go from everybody saying there's a list to all of a sudden there's no list? There's no list. I got the list on my desk. Now there's no list. There's something just not right. I don't know what else to say to you guys.
And also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant.
And those
by
are
that.
two more files that we
also,
don't.
to the tens of thousands of video, they
Haven't
turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively. The video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that.
Okay, so let's talk about that. Okay, you're telling me that every single night at 9 o'clock, the video has to start over and go back. Okay, and he knows about it. So what if you were gonna force Jeffrey Epstein and kill him and make it look like a suicide? What would be the perfect time to do that? Oh, you mean when that video actually cuts off every single night from 9 o'clock to 9:01 p.m.? Wow. Gee. And this is how they're getting away with it, folks. They're saying, well, there's no conclusive evidence, okay? So they're not lying to us, because there is no conclusive evidence, because they did it when the videotapes turn off. Are you guys following along here?
As well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Mr. President, on the tariffs first, you've said it is the...
And I'm not hating on Trump right now. I'm just saying, there's something wrong here. I don't like this. And it's okay for you to question people. Okay? You don't have to. I can't say this enough. You don't need to agree with 100% everybody says to be on their side. You don't. Maybe there's a good reason why they're lying about this. Maybe there's a damn good reason. Maybe there's some kind of other investigation going on that they don't want to ruin because of this. Maybe they're trying to a lot of people are saying, oh, there's world leaders on there. What if a world leader is on there that's in the talks right now of peace? What if Vladimir Putin's on there right now? And I'm not saying this is what's going on. I like to think of options. I want to, you throw out a few ideas out there, you get rid of the worst, and then you have a couple left over. What if Putin is on the Epstein client list? We're trying to end a war in Russia right now in the Ukraine. Maybe that's why they're not releasing the Epstein client list. I don't know. There's just so many different ways it can go. We still talk about Joe Biden, and he was when I forgot to open a Discord. When Gra, what's up, Gra? We still talk about Joe Biden, and he was there when God wrote his list, the 10 Commandments. Boris says the walls in that prison are black, white upper, lower is gray. The Epstein cell doesn't match. If you look at the layout of the prison, it doesn't make sense. Plus, we were told for years there was video. Right? We were told that. We've been told that for a long time. There's voice just in case. And yeah, how are you doing, Willow? Even Benny Johnson's and Viva Frei is getting on this. Former litigator Viva Frei, is it Frei or Frei? Questions if the Department of Justice Epstein memo is real and suggests it may be a deep state op to take down Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. So let's hear what these guys are saying about it. Here's another option.
Why would you release this to left-wing media? The entire operation seems so utterly bungled. You have to assume that on the inside they're being played. You have to assume that this is a live grenade that the pin's been pulled and handed in order to discredit Team Trump.
Well, so that's one issue as well. The memo comes out, and my first query was, all right, nobody believes it. Kash Patel himself is on record for saying the exact opposite a year and a half ago. An unsigned, undated memo, and I thought for a second maybe it was fake.
Oh, wait, hold on a second. We got to do a commercial here. It's a cheapie, but we're going to do it. Accept and start. Hi, Panda. Hi, Panda Bear. Hey, everyone. Tired of paying outrageous prices for your medications while other countries pay a fraction of the cost? So I know I don't have that problem, but I know a lot of you do, and it's not good. President Trump just signed an executive order to fix that problem. But why wait? BlockbusterHealth.com is already offering Americans these savings right now. We're talking up to 80% off the same exact medications you're already taking. Same brand, same quality, just fair prices. Whether it's Ozempic, insulin, or any other prescription, Blockbuster Health connects you directly with licensed pharmacies that offer international pricing. No middleman, no markup, just honest price. Call 1-888-350-1353 or visit blockbusterhealth.com. Americans shouldn't have to choose between their health and their wallet. Check it out. There we go. We got that going on. Yeah, Boris is always asking about Willow. All right, let's see let's finish this. Sorry.
But it's on the DOJ website. Now, possibly there's been another sort of declassified or low confidence classification leak. Maybe there's a saboteur who puts this on the website to sabotage the Trump campaign, but the DOJ hasn't come out to repudiate it. They haven't come out to contradict it. It's in line with everything they've been saying to everybody's disbelief for the last 2 months, to the contradiction of what Pam Bondi herself said a few months ago. And so what in the name of sweet holy hell is going on? Is this a real document? How is it not dated? How is it not signed? How does it just appear on the DOJ website without any sort of announcement?
I've been looking for this. I can't find it.
Because my theory to all of this, or at least one of the questions I had, if you wanted to discredit Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, you would make them basically publicly say, I love Big Brother, and say something that contradicts what they have been saying themselves for the last 3-4 years. Bongino saying, never let go of the Epstein file. This is important. This implicates the hires up. Patel coming out and saying, Bill Gates is on the client list. And now this memo that makes Patel look like a total liar. It makes Bondi look like a liar. But if your goal was to discredit Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, two of the men that MAGA and the populist movement had the greatest faith in, this is exactly how you do it. But there hasn't been an answer to how this unsigned, undated memo is leaked. And it says things that nobody believes, not even people on the left. And even if it's true, Epstein killed himself because he was left unsupervised for 10 hours with extra linens, no cellmate, taken off suicide watch, and no one checked in on him from 10 in the evening until 6 in the morning. That's a conspiracy that needs to be explored, not accepted as just another day at the Metropolitan Detention Facility.
I'm so glad that you said that, Viva.
Right? Right, Willow. Willow says this has Clinton Obama all written all over it. It's just insane what's going on here. And like I said earlier, for those of you that just joined us, one of the things I'm thinking is, well, the way they can say that there's no client list without lying is there's not an actual list. We got photos, we got pictures, we got flight logs. Well, that's not a list. I think that might be a way that they're saying there's no list. I just don't understand what's going on. And so Elon Musk is saying releasing the Epstein files will be high on the American Party's list of priorities. Here's where some more questions come into play. About a month ago, Elon Musk said, well, President Trump is on that list. And it's not coming out. And I'm not saying he's on that list, because I don't know 100%. But there's just something wrong. And in the video we watched a few minutes ago, Pam Bondi said, well, every night at the same exact time, for 1 minute, the video system has to refresh itself, and so there's nothing going on during that 1 minute. And so all it takes is one person to know it. Then they start spreading the word. So at what time would you want to go kill somebody? That one time, when you got a minute to turn on, the video's not on, that's when I would do it. Wouldn't you? So Stacey Abrams says the fact that Trump sent the National Guard and ICE to keep peace and deport illegal aliens means he will cancel future elections. And everybody that has some intelligence are like, what the F are you saying, woman, right? And so I put on here, are you surprised they make this stuff up? Democrats will say anything because they know liberals will believe everything they say. They do not do their own research. This is what's wrong with people today. It's just, I don't know. Boris trades and Angel, he's doing great. Boris says he never trusted Elon. I'm not saying we have to trust Elon. I'm just saying, what the heck's going on here? There's just too many conflicting stories. We don't know who the hell to believe. Sean Ryan, this is talking about quantum computers. We're not going to go there. I found this one interesting too. DC Drano says, there's no Epstein posts from Nancy Pelosi, no Epstein posts from Chuck Schumer, no Epstein posts from Hakeem Jeffries. All of Trump's biggest enemies are eerily quiet today. If they believe Trump was on that list, they'd be screaming for it to be released. But he isn't, and they know it. It's all their friends that are on it. And this right here is something that makes a lot of sense. This makes a ton of sense. So this is from November 30th, 2024. Says Trump's FBI director pick Kash Patel has called for the immediate declassification of the Epstein client list and claims the FBI is sitting on that list. And now all of a sudden there's no list. You think Elon's doing this shit because he lost his liberal backers and needs them back? I don't think so, Willow. I don't think so. I just think he has, he's just very outspoken. Like Ross said yesterday, you have two big, powerful men in one room, and they're going to get upset with each other because they both want to be right all the time. They bitch as Trump's acting like a king. We voted for our candidates that were picked. F these people, says Boris. And, there could just be something, like Willow says, secretly behind Trump. There could be something going on in the background that there's a reason why they're doing it. It's a smoke and mirrors right now, but why? Why are they doing the smoke and mirrors? And will we ever find out? So let's go through some of this stuff here on X. It seems so explosive all of a sudden. What I just don't get is this. All of a sudden, we can't talk about the Epstein client list. Why all of a sudden can we not talk about it? There is some kind of something going on in the background. Like, said earlier, and I'll say it again just because some people weren't here earlier. There's a possibility that they say world leaders are on the list. What if it's Putin on the list? And we're trying to end a war in the Ukraine right now. So what if they can't bring that list out right now because Putin's on it and they don't want to mess up the negotiations? Maybe that's a possibility. And I'm not saying that's what's going on. I'm just throwing out the possibilities out there. Hope says, what are they distracting us from? There's something definite. This is definitely a distraction. This has to be. This has to be. Boris says, no, kind of tells if he will ever see justice for Russia. I don't know. It's just there's possibilities are insane. We've been married for almost 13 years and now, oh my gosh. Ugh. How do people celebrate this? Liberals have lost their damn minds. Well, we knew that a long time ago. We care about Epstein because we care if our government is protecting an elite pedophile cult. That's it. That's why we care. The government should be thrilled to prove they're not protecting predators by releasing all the evidence. That's very interesting. And look, breaking news, there's another flooding event unfolding right now down in Mexico. Look at this. This house is just floating down this river. You ever see these, I'm not trying to make light of stuff, but you ever see these videos and just wonder how these houses can just float down the river like this? You would think that they'd be crushed or fall apart or something like that. Operation Twinkie Toes. Put your dogs away. Trump administration ended the shoes off policy. I don't know. Gra says Hope. Hope who? The name sounds familiar. Why do we talk to her, Gra? Why do we talk to her? Why do we talk to her? Another body found 50 yards away from where I was walking in. Let's see what Ben's doing today.
Back down here, day 4 after the floods in Hill Country, Texas. Got the fire crews out here combing back through the area. We're kind of right on the other side of town, but still in town in Kerrville. And apparently this morning, I was just out here hiking yesterday, checking out the debris, and apparently they found a body right up in here.
Wait, is that
this
New
morning.
Mexico? I thought it was Mexico.
Sadly, we're at the time where they're finding them by the smell, and that's how they found this one. So again, I was probably 50 yards away from where it was yesterday and had no idea. And it's going to be like this for days and weeks to come. It's just
it's insane and sad. Okay, Hope saying New Mexico. Did I read it wrong? Oh, New Mexico. You're right. I'm sorry, Hope. I'm wrong. Okay, I'm wrong. Hope says, unsurprised Gra knows how to use a phone. Why don't you come over to Rumble and tell him that? Why am I got to be the middleman? Why do I got to be the middleman? Joe Biden's top enablers can no longer hide behind the power of presidents. Americans are fed up with the lies about Biden's obvious decline. I mean, this is something we're still on. I mean, this we can't change, I guess. Mike Lee, he's all over the place. I don't even know what he's thinking. Don't even know what he's thinking. Border Patrol agents arrested Gennaro Ernesto Ayala, 43. They're arresting a lot of people nowadays. Hope Floats. Is that a movie? Isn't that a movie, Hope Floats? It is. That's a movie. Because Gra doesn't like YouTube. Fuck YouTube. So, and now check this out. CNN's Jake Tapper says a trove of Epstein evidence is being hidden from the public. Why is all of a sudden Jake Tapper on this? Oh, there's no Epstein client list. Why is he pushing for it? He was saying before there's no list. Now he's saying there is. Which way you gonna go, Jake Tapper? But then he's a CNN guy, so who cares? That Antifa attack on Texas ICE agent was planned out better than I thought, but their incompetent body armor and radios, etc. A liberal man wearing a wig tells that he wants to fight. Let's see.
What are you gonna do? We are American kidnappers. Take your fucking mask off. Come on. Let's go right up there on Alameda. Come on, me and you. Right now, take the mask off, put the weapons down, let's go. Come on.
Oh, this is from Louder with Crowder.
Come on.
So just real quick, folks, here's another thing. People like this, I don't know if it's a, oh, I'm not going to say because we're on YouTube, but people like this, they start fights with police officers, ICE agents, federal employees because they know that they're sworn to their duties and they can't start fights. They can't start fights. So they're going to say, come on, bitch, why don't you come across? Why don't you come over here? We're going to handle it. Because they can't. So they know, I'm going to make myself look good and threaten the cops. Thanks to Texas Antifa, we now know cops can track your phone when it's in a Faraday bag, per the cops press release. Where was that? I haven't seen that part yet. 100-year-old World War II vet does a pull-up on a tank. Good for him. I don't even know if I could do a pull-up anymore. Tucker warns the Epstein cover-up could spark a revolution. Let's see what he's talking about here.
But how can you say that thousands of children were raped, but I'm not going to find out who raped them?
Yeah.
How can you say that?
I agree completely.
They said that. By the way, when Pam Bondi went on television and said, I have a videotape of kids getting abused, I followed this case closely, and I know a lot of the people involved, as I've told you.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea. I didn't know that. Really? Thousands of children got raped?
Yeah.
Who raped them? Where are the rapists? Like, why aren't they in jail? What? This is the
life.
Department of Justice.
Yes.
That is so crazy. This is honestly one of the craziest things I've ever seen in my entire life. And I just think it's very dangerous to play around with this stuff. Like, very dangerous.
Well,
I don't want a revolution, but if you wanted a revolution, this is how you would act.
Yes, yeah.
But how can you say?
Do you think they're trying to start a revolution? I don't know if a revolution is going to start over this little stuff. I don't know. Fox News fired him from Gutfield for flirting with a coworker. Oh, this is the guy that does President Trump really good, isn't he? Let's see what he's talking about. Let's see what this is about. I don't know anything about it.
We've been on Gutfield before. Yeah. We went on that one time. You had a pretty long-standing position with them, right, on Gutfield?
Probably about a year and a half or so.
Oh, yeah? Yeah.
But they canceled me from the show.
Why did you do that?
Oh, for asking a woman for coffee at Fox News.
You know why they canceled?
This is true.
You know why they canceled? Because they knew you wanted to fuck her. That's why you can't be fucking and they was hating on you. I mean, think about it. Why'd you ask her for coffee? You would to stick your dick in her mouth.
I needed coffee.
Okay, anyway, this is not something we need to watch after all. Let's see, Brianna Morello. Many California law enforcement agents don't report crime statistics to the FBI. Of course they don't. Because they don't want their numbers being shown. They want to hide the truth. We're not going to watch this kind of stuff. Marla Naples turned down major book deals because she refused to sell out her family for profit. They wanted more corruption in the story, more negative stuff on Donald Trump and his first wife. I can believe stuff like that. Just a quick reminder for Trump. Here are a couple ways you could install a new federal chair before May. MS-13 stuff. That's that press conference. Starlink. We now have multiple Starlinks up and running in Kirk County. Well, that's awesome. That's good. LA mayor sues President Trump or the Trump administration to block ICE raids. Oh my gosh. All this is lawfare. Lawfare. Everything's about lawfare. What the heck is that? Mission human flight? It's one of those jet things. Fair Barely 18 months ago, Kash Patel said there was a list. Bill Gates is on it, that he was lobbying the government to not disclose it, and that Republicans were feckless for having a majority and doing nothing. Throughout his career as a commentator, Bongino begged, so he's begging to bring it out. Now all of a sudden we don't want to bring it out. It doesn't make sense. There's just something going on that just doesn't make sense. It's boggling my mind. And I hope it's boggling your mind too, because that means you're thinking about it. And here's what they keep. So they're trying to push stuff out now. Oh, ICE and Border Patrol, ICE and Border Patrol. We know ICE and Border Patrol is doing their job. Okay, we know that already. We've seen it. We know what's going on. Has it been 20 years that you have to take your shoes off at the airport? I don't fly anymore, and I used to hardly ever fly before that. Interesting. I don't care about soccer. So this catcher dude, he's going after everybody now. And so now we have more people. I can say this again, folks. Yeah, people like Cat Turd, Gunther Eagleman. Like, Cat Turd has 3.7 million followers. Okay? There are a lot of influencers on X that they came to X and they were pro-Trump everything. And the issue is this. They have been pushing President Trump for so long and making tons of money off of him. I don't know how much Cat Turd makes off of X, but I'm guessing it's somewhere around $10,000 a month plus. Okay? And we like instant gratification here in this world. Oops.
Instant
right?
gratification.
And I've been this way in the past, and I've learned from it because so many people, that's fake. That's fake. Why are you sharing that? People will share something that makes them feel good. And they don't want to take the time to do the research, right? How many of us in school would just read the back of a cover of a book and do a book report on the back cover? Or you read Cliff Notes. Does anybody remember what Cliff Notes were? You read the Cliff Notes. Now people just do a quick search online and just go off of that to do their book reports. And that's the problem with our world nowadays. You see something you like, this person says it, well, I'm going to trust them. So I'm going to trust everything Cat Turd says because Cat Turd is saying what I like. And they keep sharing it. And now all of a sudden, there's a lot of people that are upset with this Epstein client list. And they're saying, I don't like this. People are starting to do their own research because they're like, this just doesn't make sense. There's something fishy here. And people like Cat Turd who make all their money off of the Trump supporters and keep sharing stuff. So now what they're doing to get more views is now they're calling out the people that are saying there's something wrong with this Epstein list and calling them, oh, you're not a Trump supporter. You're a fake Trump supporter. You're a traitor. Just so they can get more likes. Just so they can get more likes and views. That's why they're doing this, folks. I used to think he was he's on my list of people that I show you guys every day. And now I'm seeing the real him come out. All he is he just agrees with everything President Trump says too. A month ago, after I saw Cash claim he's never been on the Stu Peters show, but you can find videos of them on the show together on Rumble. That's interesting. Like when Bill Clinton did it in hell. Yeah, Bill Clinton did it in hell. There was a movie with Robin Williams where he was a politician, and he's like, "Did I inhale? Hell yes, I inhaled. That stuff is good," or something like that. He's like, "Did I fart back there? Yes, I did." It was kind of funny making part of that. Border Patrol Chief says the federal government doesn't work for Karen Bass. This is a good one. I saw this clip. Let's watch it.
The federal government is not leaving LA. I don't work for Karen Bass. The federal government doesn't work for Karen Bass. We're going to be here till that mission's accomplished, as I said, and better get used to us now because this is going to be normal very soon. The federal government is not leaving.
Okay, hold on. We got another commercial opportunity here. Sorry, guys, but we got to do these when they're here. I don't ask you guys for money because I can make money just reading these commercials, and so still haven't tried 1775 coffee yet. Well, now's your shot. This is the 1775 starter kit that just dropped like 6 months ago. Only 1,000 units. You're getting the bold, dark roast that hits harder than a CNN fact check, the smooth medium roast, and the Vitality Mushroom coffee for clean energy and laser focus with no crash. All single origin, small batch, toxin free, and mold free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip because, well, freedom isn't scooped with plastic. A frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's political opinions. You also get a black 1775 tumbler that says, I don't take life advice or caffeine from a woke sea witch. You get $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for only $99. This is for the real ones, the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up on Rumble, wondering if it's actually worth it. It is. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio and grab your starter kit today before they're all gone. Old beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something. Just like Rumble does. Start your day with coffee that actually backs what you believe. All right, there we go. There, we got that. We got that one through. And you know, I make fun of this. Man of the Year. That was, yes, that's the movie, Graw. Thank you. Let's go to, I want to go to 1775 coffee real quick to look this up. Because sometimes I think, you know, they do this and they pay for so many ads and then they don't get enough of the ads out, maybe, and that's why they 1775coffee.com and /studio. So let's see if they still have get your free starter kit. Here you go. People tell me that this is good coffee. I don't know. I don't drink coffee, so I can't tell you for sure. Let's see what the free starter kit is. Let's see if it's still the same thing. So this is a different one. 100 servings of coffee, free starter kit, $210 value now. So it's a different starter kit now, but they still have a starter kit. Okay, so that makes sense. 210 value for 100 servings of coffee. So that means it's $2.10 a coffee when you brew it at home. Is that not expensive? I don't know. Yeah, Robin Williams was good for the troops too. I like Robin Williams. He was a very funny man. Very funny man. And apparently Grok has become racist or something. I don't know what's going on with that. What can somebody explain this to me? Grok is building towers, building end towers now. Starting with I, starting with G, starting with E. I don't understand. Can somebody explain this? What the heck are they talking about? These starting with towers thing. No coffee. Eddie has a smooth chest. When have you been looking at my chest? Yes, it's fun. You know, my brother and my dad are hairy. My dad was hairier than anything. My brother's hairier as can be. Hairy as can be. Not me. I've got little tiny, real thin hairs. That's about it. Tony here says, just to be clear, I do not care who the administration is. Brushing the largest sex trafficking ring under the rug like nothing serious happened is not okay. I don't care who it is. Right? See, now Catherine said, oh, these are all bots. These are all bots that are writing these comments. Well, you weren't saying nothing when the bots were writing comments in favor for you. Apparently some reporter got former Vice President Biden's personal phone number. So now they had to change his phone number. That's a good thing. That's funny. Texas resident Bud Bolton recalls the flood. It's just all those screaming kids. You know, it's a sad situation, and I don't want to do that. I really don't. And like I said, people are fighting each other. Look, here's Cat Turd again, trying to fight with people just to get views and likes. He's saying, so this is Retard Finder. I know, I recognize this is his logo, and so Cat Turd says, I'm living rent free in his head. Why are we got to stop infighting, folks. It's okay to not agree on everything. We don't have to fight each other because we don't agree on something. I'm not going to fight with some other influencer. I'm not saying I'm an influencer because I don't influence shit. But I'm not going to fight with somebody else because of something they said that I don't agree with. And you're going to say, yeah, but Eddie, you don't like Oreo Express. Well, that's something totally different. I don't like him because I think the guy's a freaking grifter, right? Do I think that people that go out and show you the videos that they deserve to get paid? Yes, they do. They deserve to get paid. They need their fuel paid for. They need their phone bill paid for. They need all that stuff paid for, and then they need money on top of it to survive. So I think people like that go out there should get paid money. But I don't think they should be lying to get it. Saying, "Oh, I'm dead broke." I don't know where the heck it is anymore. I know it was out there. He said, "I need to make $10,000 a month to survive." $10,000 a month to survive. That's a little outrageous, especially when you live in your mommy's house. Just saying. All right, pop star JoJo Siwa's rebrand from a radical lesbian activist to a straight trad. What's a trad girlfriend? Needs to be studied. We all know why this has happened. Woke is dead and nature is healing. Gross says my mom can beat up Hope's mom. Hope, are you going to let Gross say that to you over here on Rumble? You should come over to Rumble and get off of YouTube. I'm going to tell my kids that this is Millie Villain. So look, this is the Hodge twins. People are fighting with the Hodge twins because they're upset about the Epstein list not coming out. And they were upset about the war in Israel or in Palestine, you know. Rapper response. This is an all-government approach. The only newly announced National Farm Security Plan aiming at stopping the loss of American farmland to Chinese ownership. This is a huge. People don't realize how huge this is. Steven Crowder made a big episode on this, last year, something like that, talking about how most of Oklahoma is being bought up, the farms, by Chinese, and they're putting in weed shops and weed farms. And yes, this is just a TV show that I watch, but Tulsa King is based in Oklahoma, you know, Tulsa King. And they have, in their movie, you know, they have just taken over a marijuana grow place, and it's all Chinese people running it. It's all Chinese people running it. It's a thing, folks, that we need to be focused more on. China is buying up land in America. And how many countries out there say you can't buy land in our country unless you're a citizen? We need to stop this now.
We had a wonderful event this morning announcing this. I had Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, Defense Pete Hegseth, had AG Pam Bondi. We had 3 of the country's best governors. We had several people from the Hill. This is an all-of-government approach.
What does that mean?
Well, what that means is that if we're going to really ban China from buying our farmland or any foreign adversaries, it's got to be the states have to lean in, the federal government has to step.
So here's states with Chinese-owned farmland. 29 states, 277,336 acres. Washington, Oregon, California, Utah, Arizona, Colorado, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Kentucky, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, Maryland, New Jersey, and Maine.
Up. We've got to have executive orders out of the White House.
A law?
There's a law needs to be passed. A lot of bills have been filed, but it hasn't moved. I don't know that America really understands, or at least our elected officials.
How was this allowed,
recently,
though? China owns Smithfield Foods, one of the largest food processing plants in the United States, land near military bases. I've covered this for 20 years.
Well, it's now all changes today. I mean, today we, for the first time, are saying no more. Good. Banning the sale of China farmland, working with the states, getting the bills passed through Congress, having an executive order. But
here's another thing they're showing. Look at all them by bases. Look, in Grand Forks, there's one near Grand Forks Air Force Base. Fort Lewis, look at, there's Chinese-owned property there. Hill Air Force Base right here, there's 2 properties. Dugway Proving Ground, there's a property there. Oahu military base, there's property owned by Chinese. Fort Irwin, look at all the properties around Fort Irwin. Camp Pendleton, that's where all the Marines are trained. Look at that. Yuma Proving Ground. Fort Hood, all these are places
also, Laura, looking
where we have military
how to
bases.
Potentially claw some of that back, especially that's a national security issue.
Do not eat Smithfield. Okay, what's Smithfield? I got to look up what Smithfield is. Smithfield. Smithfield Foods, a leader in packaged meat. Is this one of the ones that has all that red dye in it and that fake meat? Is that one of those companies? Let's see. Earlier this month, we were honored at, let's see, at Smithfield, we believe in education. It's all good stuff about them that I'm seeing. Let's look at news. Smithfield, there's a city named Smithfield too. Okay, Gry got to explain it to us. Boris says, I saw 2 LGBTQ people today. Both had a rainbow-colored hair. I couldn't tell what sex they were. And then they removed their shirts. Turns out they were boys. Well, and that's weird. China owns Smithfield is what crosses. Okay, interesting. A legal alien who murdered Laken Riley secures massive win in court. Great. This was about that. We saw that video earlier. We don't want to watch that. Disgusting human being. So the person says, there was never suspicious activities report spot on Epstein. Do they think we don't know banks track every dollar? And that there would be a paper trail for all the wires sent and received? The stock trades made? Did we fall off a turnip truck? Do you really believe this? I don't know. I don't believe anything in the news anymore. We have to do our research, and that's probably still not enough. Because there's so many fake stories. And look, game over for the good old boy, says Nancy Mace. Nancy Mace, you're just a follower now, in my views. You may be cute, you may have a nice looking body for your age and stuff like that, but you don't have. I'm starting to believe you don't have your own thoughts and opinions anymore. Tony says, why am I being shamed for caring about children who are being brutally abused and trafficked on an island? How am I the bad guy for wanting answers and justice? Some of y'all need to seriously examine yourself. Let's see what some of the comments are on this. It's not going away, but the focus now is on John Brennan and James Comey. The Epstein thing needs to be unraveled in due time, but it comes down to priorities and association. Jack Adams says, if you want a kid saved, look at the 420 plus rescued since February. People are all over the place here. You're not me. You're not to me. You're a voice. Shame on everyone who is upset, and we want to know what's going on. I'm a bit confused. Why would anyone shame you for asking questions that need to be answered? There's just so many people that they don't know how to think for themselves, and it's just getting awful. And look, here he says again, I'm not against Trump. I'm against child trafficking. There's a massive difference, and there is. James Comey's daughter was always appointed to cases surrounding other Epstein related cases. Interesting. There's just too much to go through now. Oh man, we gotta fast forward. We gotta skip some because we're back to where we were. Wealth is now measured by how many houses you own but don't live in, how many cars, boats, and planes you don't use, how many workers you pay, says Michael Savage. Savage! I used to listen to him all the time. Trump was right about everything. I'm never going to buy that hat. I'm never going to wear that hat because nobody is right about everything. Nobody. Including Donald J. Trump. And I'm a huge fan. Here's this Gunther Eagleman guy that I don't like. What kind of country would allow children to be brutally raped on an island? Oh, he's switching his tune all of a sudden. Maybe me going after him all the time and telling him how he's a little bitch that only fucking agrees with President Trump and never thinks on his own. Maybe he's coming around. Possibly. Possibly. Cooking A5 Wagyu ribeye in ketchup. Oh my gosh. That person should be just taken out of this world. Put them in another country. They don't belong in America. Just so you know, the dominoes are about to fall, and it's going to be historic. John Brennan is under criminal investigation. He's under criminal investigation, but it's not going to go anywhere, right? Have you noticed this, folks? We're investigating one person. Okay, and then we find out, we can't arrest them because they have dirt on somebody else. Oh, look, now this person's got, all they're doing is switching. They're swapping it in front of us. So it looks like they're doing something, but really not doing anything. Our government right now, when it comes to arresting people for the crimes they've done against America, you know what? They're the persons that's sitting there, you know, and, oh, look, you know, I'm playing Candy Crush on my phone. Oh my gosh, here comes my boss. And I shouldn't have done that because, look, I just messed up our whole entire thing. Oh, well. But that's who's running our government now, folks. People that just sit there and only do stuff. Only do stuff to show us that things are going on. I'm not dying for Israel. Retard finder. There we go. What the fuck are you doing to hot? Wait. Often Gitmo for life. Everybody's just starting to fight with each other. It's getting old, folks. It's all a diversion. What are they trying to divert us from? What the heck's going on here? I really want to know. Don't you want to know? They're diverting something. They're diverting something we just don't know. What's up, Mega Million? So let's go. So I hardly ever go here. This home button. These are people that I follow. Or things that they say will be relevant to me. And a lot of these are fake stuff, folks. So you gotta be cautious when you see stuff like this. Wall Street Apes are pretty good. Says if you're wondering why not one child rapist on the Epstein client list has been brought to justice, look no further than these two images. Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell inside the White House. Ghislaine Maxwell at the United Nations. They're all in it, and it's all the way to the top. We are ruled and paid taxes to pedophile and child protectors. Why is Ghislaine Maxwell still in jail if there's no? I'm kind of cold. I've had this shirt from when I was a Proud Boy. Yes. Is it Proud Boy colors? Yes. Am I a Proud Boy? No, I'm not a Proud Boy anymore. But I can still wear black and gold. I don't hate the guys. I'm just not a Proud Boy anymore. Let's settle this one. If you're white, let us know. Are you offended? No. Doesn't bother me at all. Who would you bring back for one final concert? Michael Jackson, Graham Parsons, Kurt Cobain, John Lennon, Freddie Mercury, Jim Morrison, Hendrix, David Bowie, Fogelberg, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Elvis Presley, or Janis Joplin? It doesn't matter to me. So the oligarchs who want us to return to work to goose the stock market are the same ones with thousands of luxury condos as investment properties sitting empty while New Yorkers die on the streets and in shelter. Seize these properties and house the homeless. What are you going to do? You're going to take a $10 million house and give it to a homeless person so they can destroy it? Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense at all. FBI has launched criminal investigations into Comey and Brennan over Russiagate. This is just going to keep swapping around, folks. It's Epstein yesterday. Today it's Brennan. Tomorrow it'll be Epstein again. Then it's going to be Brennan. Then it's going to be somebody else. They're trying to look like they're doing work, and they really aren't. A lot of people who travel a lot are going to like this, I guess. I don't fly. So.
We have some very exciting news to announce that today we have started a new no shoes policy with the Department, the Transportation Security Administration. TSA will no longer require travelers to remove their shoes when they go through our security checkpoints. This is something that I know for quite some time people have talked about and discussed, and we know that when President Trump was elected that he pledged to make life better for all Americans, and that includes those who are traveling.
She is still gorgeous. She's just amazing. For her age, wow. For her age, wow. MAGA base is furious as Trump officials dismissed Epstein conspiracies. Yeah, we're pissed because we don't know what the hell's going on anymore. I'm not going to show that. Who else hopes this is true? California will stop paying all federal taxes and is preparing to succeed from the United States. I don't even think they can do that. And if they do, well, I don't know what's going to happen because my stepdad doesn't want to move. So, Man, that's worrisome. I don't think they can do it. I don't know. I'm not up to date on that kind of stuff. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced a significant increase in tariff revenue collections. Good. This is something I'm proud of that President Trump did. $100 billion collected this year, 300 plus billion projected by the end of 2025, $2.8 trillion over 10 years. That's not fast enough though for us. We need more money because we're $36 trillion in debt, something like that. Jesse Waters says Patrick Bet David, whoever that is, says not releasing the Epstein files was the biggest fumble in the Trump administration. Yeah, they can't just give us nothing. They should have given us a little taste. At least given us a little taste. A little taste is all it takes sometimes. This woman is 28 years old and has 9 kids. She makes social media videos where she goes shopping and gets huge amounts of groceries with her EB2 food stamps. And she makes money off it. So stop sharing their videos, folks. Stop sharing their videos. Stop bringing them up. Don't make them relevant. Woman throws herself from a moving taxi after realizing she could not pay the fare. I've heard of dying and What the heck? How do you know this is real? It's in another country, it looks like. It looks like it's probably another country. How am I getting him? I'm not following him anymore. I don't know why this shit's coming up. Has COVID-19 been the greatest scam in history? We're still talking about that? That's old news. His arrival video, all is not as it seems. Who is this? What the heck is that about? Hold on, let's see what they're saying. I'm curious now. They got me curious. Who is this person, number one? Oh, is that Netanyahu? Why did his wife or whoever that lady is make that step like that? That's weird. That's not gonna play. That's not gonna play. American people deserve to know the truth. Even Paulina Luna is saying this, regardless of who it impacts. Turn the sound on. Nope, we're not gonna watch that. Yeah, this is San Francisco. ICE agents are getting attacked in San Francisco now. This is just insane. This is just insane. Do these people hate America or what? Sounds like a sex party at a mansion. Oh my gosh, bro. What I don't get is how come they're not arresting these people? How are they not arresting these people? Just insane. So Gra was Boris said the Supreme Court ruled judges couldn't use injunctions to derail Trump, but 2 have done it since the Supreme Court made that ruling. But they're still going to do it. They're trying to use a way to. It's just their tactic of. It's lawfare. It's lawfare. Boris says politicians are totally provoking the mentally ill. They are. Oh my gosh, what are you talking about, Willis? The ex-wife of 80s Coast of TV star Gary Coleman fails lie detector test after being asked about the fatal fall that ended his life. Is that his ex-wife? Was he dating a redhead? He dating a redhead? I'm trying to, and this was great. This was great. Boris sent me this, so I used this earlier. You know, folks, I think we're going to end it there tonight because I think it's that time to get going. And hope you all had a good day. We'll look and see. Maybe there's something new that just popped up real quick. Stop cloud seeding. So we know cloud seeding is a thing, but they're saying that the government cloud seeded to cause that accident, the rain that overflowed the river. I don't know how true that is. I really don't. Interesting. Gunther Eagleman is changing his mind. Whoa, he's finally thinking on his own. He's finally thinking on his own. All right, guys. Yeah, we're gonna get going here today. I'm gonna start leaving you guys earlier. I talk too much, and we're gonna start working on doing a shorter show for you guys. Get things done quickly, and I'm gonna go play some poker, I think. So thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you. Good night, Boris. Good night, Gra. Good night, Hope. Mega, if you're still over there in YouTube land. I don't see anybody else chatting. Hope. I don't know if Hope's here or not still. But y'all have a good night, guys. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and Alaska time. That's 5 o'clock. Oh, Willow's still here. And Willow says, good night. Glad you're back. I appreciate you, Willow. I appreciate everybody that's in the chat room right now. But I just don't want to overdo it anymore. I think we do a nice hour and a half or so, and that should be good. So everybody have a great night. Do your own research. Think on your own. Love you guys. And good night. Good night, all.